Hello, ladies and gentlemen and programmers. We're going to do the last part of the piano, part 9. We're going to add a message, and we're going to learn how to use a for loop. We've done a while loop so far, but now we're going to do a for loop. Okay, so we need to show a message at the bottom of the screen. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Add the method to show a line of text at the bottom of the piano world. All right, so you're going to open up the piano world. And at the very, very tippy top, maybe the second line, you're going to say import java.awt.color. Okay, add this line in there. So that allows us to use the color. Then we're going to create a new method definition. So you're going to make a new, so something like public void show message, parentheses, parentheses, enter opening curly brace, closing curly brace. All right, so inside those curly braces of the show message method, you're going to get the current background, right? So you're going to get whatever the current background is. You're going to store it in a local variable called bg, okay? And then the next line of code is going to be this bg.draw string. So you're going to take the background that you just got and put into this local variable called bg. You're going to draw a string onto it. I'm just going to say you're going to do this, and then it's going to put, here's the location where you're going to add the string data. Okay, what kind of thing, answer these questions. What kind of thing is BG? If you don't know, ask me. What is dot draw string and who can use it? Okay, answer those questions. Okay, and then here's an activity for you. You can try this if you want. And then finally, let's do the for the but. So if you're stuck on doing this, let me know and I'll help you in class. Okay, now let's do the for loop. The for loop is a little more elegant than the while loop because the information is encapsulated in the first line of the loop. So you don't have to have at the bottom. You don't have to have I plus plus. Okay, and you don't have to have int I equals 0 outside of the loop. So everything you need is inside the parameters or inside the parentheses here for the for loop. Okay, so an example would be something like this. Instead of while, you'd say for, and then you say int I equals 0, and then basically while I is left and right keys dot length, and then you're going to always increment it by 1, and then you're going to put your statements. Okay. For example, the local variable declaration int I equals 0 is inside, and the amount that I is incremented, I plus plus, is inside the parentheses instead. So when you switch to a for loop, there's already the int I equals 0 that gets deleted from up here and put in here. Same thing. So down here would be the I plus plus that has to be deleted. If you don't delete it, it's not going to work right. Okay. So your job is to create a new method named black keys with for loop. Okay. Then you're going to copy the body of the make black keys with while loop and array code and modify it to use the for loop. Okay, so you're going to copy and paste the code inside this new method. You're going to take what you've learned about for loops right here, and you're going to apply it. So keep the make black keys with loop and array, right? Don't delete any code because I'm grading you on having all the code. But you're going to F8, you're going to comment out its method call. So you're not going to ask it to use the while loop anymore, but you are going to ask it to make the black keys using the for loop. Okay, and I'll help you do that. Okay, that's it. Here is what you can be done, or you can listen to me here. Well, better listen to me. All right, so here's what we've learned: that logical operators or Boolean operators such as and not can be used to combine multiple Boolean expressions into one Boolean expression. So you can expect 2 or 3 or 4 or 100 things instead of just one thing to be true. Abstraction occurs in many different forms in programming. One of them is the technique to write code that can solve a whole class of problems rather than a single specific problem. An example is we created a key class that can make white and black keys and play with every key on the keyboard and can play a multitude of sounds. A loop is a statement of programming language that can execute a section of code multiple times. So you figure out what you want to have happen over and over again, how many times you want it to have happen, and you create your loop. So we learned about local variables as a variable that is declared inside a method body. It is used for temporary storage. It deletes as soon as you get through that method body. An array is an object that holds multiple variables. These can be accessed using an index number. An individual elements in an array are accessed using square brackets and an index to specify the array element. By the way, if any of this doesn't make sense to you, you better talk to me so I can explain it to you better. I'll use pictures and I'll use all kinds of stuff. The plus symbol when used with string stands for string concatenation. It merges two strings together into one string. So it's not adding numbers, it's adding in this way, it's adding letters together. The string type is defined by a normal class. It has many useful methods which we can look up in the Java library documentation. All right, that's it for chapter 5. Now your job is to go on to the platform jumper. Thanks, guys.